We know that the Pope prayed with the victims. We know that he embraced them. We know that he listened to their stories. And I think perhaps most importantly, he said that there would be justice for all victims harmed by the church, and he promised responsibility, all of the people who were responsible for it would be punished, which is something that advocates for victims of sexual abuse have been asking for years.
We have heard from advocates of sexual abuse who have said, look, this is not enough, that this Pope has had meetings before, other popes have as well. In terms of what has actually been done, the church likes to kind of put this as something that occurred in the past. Is that where it is now in the past?
Well, I mean, you're right. This is actually the seventh time a pope has met with victims of sexual abuse. Benedict XVI had 5 such meetings, the first actually coming in the United States in 2008. For the most part, the cases of abuse that we know about have occurred in the past, although there have been a handful of cases that are more recent, and also in some of those cases, the church has been accused of not acting quickly enough. For example, there was a case in Kansas City just a few years ago in which a priest was accused of abusing children, and the bishop was informed of that and delayed a few months before reporting that to the police, which led to a criminal conviction and ultimately to that bishop being removed. Look, Anderson, I think the reality is that the church today in 2015 is in a very different place than it was, say, 10 years ago. When I first started covering this story, there was open denial at the most senior levels of the church. People were talking about this as an American problem, as a media invention. You don't hear that kind of thing anymore. They are officially committed to reform. The issue today is follow-through in reform. There is no real system of accountability yet, not for the crime, but for the cover-up. And in addition to that, there is no uniform global standard. Policies in the United States and Europe are very different than they are in other parts of the world. And I think that's going to be the acid test of whether this meeting is more than a kind of emotive encounter, but whether it leads to policy change.
And Bruce Fowler, that is the criticism from many survivors of clergy abuse who say this is public relations.
And I have to say, it's been not very effective public relations this week. I think in a week in which the church has masterfully managed the schedule and the themes, that this has not been handled well. It's almost like hearing a politician change his story every day. We began with a speech to bishops, congratulating them on their courage for getting through it. And while that may be true, perhaps we should have started with the victims. And I think I can't help wondering if we wouldn't be in this situation had there been women in the decision-making rooms when they planned this trip. And that's really what this is about, Anderson, which is ultimately the subtext for this whole weekend is about women, right? Okay? Women, 6 of 10 people in the pews, women are more interested in religion. And ultimately, if this church cannot convince Catholic women, Catholic moms in particular, to trust their children in the church, then the church is going to have a real serious problem going forward.
As we mentioned,